I mentioned previously that someone asked me to make a travel journal for a friend of theirs based on the manila folder one that I made. So this is where that one is right now. So I am doing the video. I have mostly embellished and mostly done everything that I was planning to do. However, the theme for this one is supposed to be the color fuchsia, teal slash turquoise, roses, and travel. I think I've got significant, well, not significant fuchsia. I use most of my fuchsia paper up in the 365 Days of Prayer series, unfortunately. But I did get a couple of other fuchsia elements and buy some more paper, and you'll see those. So I feel like there's plenty of fuchsia, teal, turquoise, and roses. However, I did not have much that embodied the theme of travel. So I may add some more embellishments as I prepare this to mail it to her for the travel theme. So that, just bear that in mind, that there may be more elements added. So as it is travel, it is legal length and short width, which is what I what I understand to be the main feature of travel type journals. So, and it's large enough to where it barely fits on the screen. So I'll try to keep track of that as I show this. The cover is, as per usual, file folders treated to look like leather. And in this case, I wanted it to be more durable. So I took two file folders without cutting them in half, because usually I cut them in half, but I didn't cut them in half. I left them full length, folded out. I took two, treated both of them, glued them together, and then put a few fabric pieces, dryer sheets usually is what I'm usually using until I run out of those, and I'll use muslin, regular muslin. So I took a few of those and put them in between to give it a little bit more fabric type stability, to give it more leather behavior so it wouldn't rip or anything like that. I painted it, and then I went over the paint with Mod Podge. Antique style Mod Podge, because that isn't sticky. Like if anybody has used Mod Podge, you'll notice that the glossy Mod Podge tends to be tacky when it's dry. So the antique I found does not do that. So I use antique as my go-to Mod Podge for now. I need to get some more of it because I'm about running out, but I want to use up the other stuff first. So that is the cover, and then I edged it with washi tape. As I mentioned before, roses are one of the themes. So the bottom edge and the top edge, oops, one of the pins fell off. The bottom edge and the top edge are washi tape with a mild rose pattern and a predominant color of teal in them. So that is the cover. I got hair ties at Daiso. So they actually had this one. I was like, oh, wow, that's the only thing that's actually fuchsia that I've seen. It's really hard. It's easy to find pink and easy to find hot pink, but it's very difficult to find fuchsia, I've discovered. So I found these two hair ties and tied them around as the holders to hold the paper or the journal's parts actually in the cover. And I braided yarn for this, for the tie, for the closure. So let's see what we got. Oh, and this is one of those removable pin clips in case you have a pin that doesn't have a sticker or whatever the thing is called that holds these on. In case your pins don't have that, I made this based on the tutorial by Treasure Books. Very, very easy to make. I went cheap and did duct tape instead of decorating it like she decorated hers, and just put I have a bunch of these fat paper clips, so I put this in the back there. And it's really cool. The only trick is I got to go back and figure out her instructions, because I don't know if there's a way to keep this from popping out. Because if you push it on too far, the paper clip can come out if you're not careful. So you have to be kind of careful with it. So I'm going to include this with it just as an extra Benny, because I didn't put a whole lot of effort into it. And in case she has a pin she wants to write with, it's not one of these three that I'm including, then that'll be that. So this tie is long enough to where it wraps around double. And the reason for that is in case she has stuff that she wants to put inside of here, that she doesn't want stuff falling out the top or the bottom. She probably has enough to where she could go around this way and tie it, maybe. But I tried to make it big enough to where you've got some give in it to make it as fat as you want to make it. So opening it up, and again, three teal, fuchsia, and black pin. I'll include those just for free, just because I like to make sure that I'm included, especially when I'm using specialty paper. The paper in this one is all Yamamoto papers, copy Champion copy paper and typewriter paper, and it is a very light, very thin paper, even though it's strong. It's a strong paper that is light and thin. So, since it's supposed to be a travel journal, I wanted to make it as light as possible. And then I completely countermanded that by filling it with like 4 different journals. So, as you will see. Ballpoint pen will work on this paper very, very well. I would not... fountain pens work on this paper. Yes, I have tested them and they do actually work. They bleed through a little bit, but you've got the writing board in here to take care of that. You can put this underneath each page. Well, that's a whole bunch of pages. You put this underneath each page and to keep it from bleeding through and whatnot. But ballpoint pen is not going to bleed through, and you don't necessarily even need the writing board if you're going to write on it with ballpoint pen. So, and again, this writing board is on one side is just my calligraphy practice, and on the other side is the lines, because I only write on one side of the paper when it's copier weight paper. So this, even though you see some of the bleed through from my fountain pens, you still have enough visibility on lines if you wanted to use the lines, or you could just use it as just a hard surface to write on if you are actually traveling while you're using it, as per the intent. Now, I also had trouble finding the right kind of things that fit the travel theme, like I said. So this was from a... it was either MT or MU. I think it was MU travel sticker pack that I wish I had planned more and considered more before I decided to use them in this way, because they kind of fade into the background. Like you can barely tell, but this actually is a sticker that says travel therapy, and it just totally blends into the background. I put it on, I was like, oh, I should have put something under that. But apologies to the person who receives this as a gift. Free is what you get, and free is what you paid for. So, but like I said, I'm thinking of other ways to bring in the travel theme. So I may augment this with something else before it actually gets to its recipient, because I want it to be something that I would want to receive if those were my preferred motifs. Before I send it out. So I've got to do a little bit more thinking about how that would be. I did not put any stickers on the cover because I am not sure how they would stick to the leather treated texture or whatnot. I may go back in and try to decoupage some stuff on, where I put stuff on and then put another layer of Mod Podge on top of it. But I would need to do that in a way where it didn't, like, if it tried to close or fold or something like that, then I don't want it to damage itself. And I also don't want it to get out of the habit of being able to fold, because it was, like I said, it's 2 layers of file folder that are treated to look like leather, so they're pretty stiff. And I was actually kept it tied as it was storing it to get it back in the habit of folding. So on the outside, I think I forgot to mention, this is a little bit of washi tape on the edges. I talked about the top and bottom, but forgot to mention the edges. And on the inside, this is a washi tape that is supposed to look like a tatami mat. But as you know, washi tape does not stick well. So I sewed the 2 rows on it, but that was for the outside. I did not want to sew a 3rd row because there's no tape up there on the outside. So I put glue on there, and the tape is so thin, the glue is like immediately obvious. I debated putting something else over this, but then I would have to put more glue on it. And then again, it might propagate the problem rather than make the problem less obvious. So I decided to leave it into the handmade, rough-hewn theme and just left it as is and did not put anything else over it. And that, again, is if I figure out some other way to get more travel theme stickers or travel theme tape, that may change between now and when I send this in the mail. So I'm really, really happy with how this came out. Again, the theme is teal, turquoise, and this is originally was going to be the outside. It is teal, but it's a very, very dark teal. So it kind of looks green. It looks green to me anyway. Even on camera and in person, it looks green, even though it really is a dark teal. But I've seen different interpretations of the color teal look this color. So I know I hit the right family of colors. So instead, I use the inside as the outside. And the inside, or the outside cover is basically, I had originally painted it blue, and then I painted stripes of teal, and I tried to paint a stripe of fuchsia, but the blue underneath kind of came through because the fuchsia was not opaque enough. So the intent is pink, dark pink, but it didn't come out that way. But it came out better than, or closer to teal than the inside, the dark teal. So I just left the outside with the stripes, make that the outside, and then made the inside this with the tatami mat. And partly because of the tatami mat, the effect with the glue on the tape. So as you can see, there's two fuchsia ties on this side and two fuchsia ties on this side, which means there are 4 elements inside. And the way I did this is kind of like as a flip out book, where this one will be inside the first journal where you have travel therapy, and I'll try to make that more obvious or put something else on it that'll be obvious. And then you have one that's like fuchsia sparkly glitter with a rose punch element that goes out this way. And then you have another sparkly one with the teal sparkles that folds out this way. And this is kind of like most travel journals will have some kind of pouch of some sort. So that is what this is attempting to do. And I wrung my brain dry with ideas to try to figure out a cool way to put a pouch in here without having to buy a pouch, which kind of defeats the purpose of recycling, even though I did buy all this paper. But what I came up with was just the teal cardstock with a washi tape border on the back, and I sewed it together. So there's no washi tape on the inside, but I sewed it together. A couple of rose stickers. I'd had these mulberry paper envelopes that I got from Korea from literal decades ago when I was stationed there, and cut them in half. Well, didn't cut the envelopes in half. I cut the flaps in half, decorated the edges with washi tape, and made this into kind of like a pouch type thing. And I'm going to leave it as is and include it with the pack. The other half of the envelopes, of course, is over here. However, I am not convinced that the utility of this is going to be worthwhile. But these are the only fuchsia envelopes that I had, and I used them, so I'm not going to back up on that because I can't uncut them in half, basically. So instead of the full-on pouch that I couldn't figure out a way to do that easily, or even hard. I couldn't figure out a way to do it hard either. So these will be like little pouches. You can put ephemera in there. You can put tags in there. You can put stickers in there that you want to use with your journals when you're journaling or whatnot. And then here I have a pocket where you've got just some leftover Franklin Planner pages, daily record of events for writing notes and writing lists and whatnot, and just general cardstock for writing. And I ordered, I think I ordered it. I ordered a calendar sticker. So I was thinking like I could stamp the blank calendar on here. And then when you're traveling, whatever month you're traveling, you could fill in the dates or whatnot. And then have these for like each individual day, depending on how long your trip was. I think I put 10 in here for a 10-day trip. But that is what I came up with. This is a belly band and this is a pocket on this side. And then you have the other halves of the envelopes here. And I may put some elements in there. I've just got to figure out a way to, well, I'll include a letter with a letter note. By the way, there's things in the pocket, so don't overlook that when you're going through it. So that is that, and I'm going from the back forward, basically. So that is the pocket pouch element, and the actual journal element. As I said before, this is typewriter paper, Yamamoto typewriter paper, and Yamamoto Champion copy paper. So it is very, very thin, but it's also strong. I don't remember what the grams per square meter weight on this is, but by virtue of the fact that it's typewriter paper, it's meant to be, I'm guessing that they mean for the carbon to be used with carbon paper. So you have multiple layers in there, and then the strike of the typewriter will actually go through multiple layers of paper and carbon, I think is the intent for why it would be thin like it is. But it's a very, very nice grade of paper. I actually splurged and went out and bought bunches and bunches of scrapbook paper. Hobby Lobby was having a sale, and I took advantage of it and spent way more than I anticipated. But that is the way that goes with Hobby Lobby and Michael's. I don't even walk in Michael's because I spend too much money when I go to Michael's. So I decorated this one. Of course, the outside is the maps and the globes with the scrapbook paper. Inside, the stickers I mentioned before that I'm not entirely happy with. And on the way I incorporated the roses and the travel elements further is on the edges of the bottoms of the pages, not every page, but just as many as I had, you know, enough stickers to put on. I think this one is every other page or every 2 or 3 pages. You've got little trees from the travel element here, and the rest are roses, rose petals or actual roses or whatnot that are on the decorating each individual page. And I'm thinking, if I have good stamps if I can find good stamps that have a travel theme, I'll maybe do like a watermark on a few pages and bring in the travel that way, or I'll find stickers and it'll cut into the journaling space, but I want to do more with the traveling theme, as I mentioned before. So this has, I believe, 30 pages. Did I do 30 or did I do 60? I think I did 40, actually, because I was thinking most trips don't last more than 30 days. So I think I did either 30 pages for 60, 30 sheets for 60 pages, or... yeah, I don't remember. But I was thinking in terms of how long a trip lasts, that you would use this when you were traveling. I know it's more than 30, but I think I know it's less than 90. I think it's 60 sheets in here if you were going to write on the back. But if you're not going to write on the back, then I think it's 60 pages, I think. I meant to write this down while I was putting them together, and I completely forgot. So there is that element, and these, the 2 sparkly ones, is just basically so you have some extra elements in here if you're going on a trip for more than a month. So if you have more than a month of a trip, you have one that'll get you 60 days, 2 pages per trip. Then you have your pockets and whatnot, and then you have 2 more over here that are in this other strap that you can use. And again, scrapbook paper, just basically glitter scrapbook paper with the rose punch corner element, and edge punched. I edge punched all of these for so that they have rounded corners as well, so they don't catch on stuff. This one is decorated only with the roses, no travel stickers or anything like that. And again, they're all at the bases of the pages, and a little bit of decoration on the cover and on the back cover as well. Nothing on the outside, because the glitter itself, I think, is enough decoration or enough embellishment for that. And the pink one, and this is kind of funny, and I didn't want to take it apart after I sewed it, but you will notice that the pink paper for pockets in this one, and there's teal paper for pockets in this one. However, there's no pockets in this one. And I think I was on my 3rd book binding when I was like, wait a second. But since they're both in here, it still fits. So for the glitter pink one, it's got, again, you've got rose sticker embellishments. You've got the corner punches, and you've got the rounded corners. This is actually... from a rose stamp that I used for 365 Days of Prayer, that I was cleaning the stamp and, sprayed water on it and just tried to stamp it to get the ink off. And these came out wonderfully. So I was like, I'm saving those and I'm using them. I was going to cut them out and stick them somewhere, but I think that they work better this way because you can use them as a bookmark, or whoever is going to get this journal can use it however they want, or they can cut them out and stick them somewhere if they want to do that, or put them in their journal. And this was the other page of basically of me cleaning my stamps. And the inside's the same thing, typewriter paper and copyright paper, Yamamoto Champion copy paper and Yamamoto typewriter paper is on the inside. And again, I think there are 60 sheets in here, meaning 60 individual sheets in here, which would make it 120 pages. But like I said before, and like I say frequently, I don't write on the other side of my pages because I use fountain pens. Again, this is me cleaning stamps. They just came out with such a neat effect that I just stuck that in there as well. And you have another, this one didn't, only the first one came out worthwhile, but the whole thing can still be used as whatever somebody wants to use it for, bookmarks, or you can laminate it. You can do all kinds of things with it. And here you have the back of the cover. And again, I did not put any stickers on any parts of the cover because I'm not sure if they would stick, but I may try to decoupage some elements on there because I would like to put more travel elements in here for use, for just to do the theme a little bit more. So the way I'm closing it is I'm putting this one down first, then this one, then this one, and then this one, so that the invisible travel therapy sticker is visible the first thing when you open it like this. So as I was putting this together, I went overboard, as I tend to do, and I made two extra little packs that you can put in. Like if you use these, use up the ones in here, then you've got these two that I'll include when I send them to the person who asked me for them. And these, again, you have the travel stickers that, when I did this one, I had more of the travel stickers to choose from. So they're not as bad, but they're still really, really tiny for use in this. I wish I had saved them for like a smaller type travel journal, like an A6 size, and used them then, and just stuck with the roses on the pages. But since I had more of them when I did this one, you've got a mixture of rose stamps and then trees and mountains and different things you go see when you travel. Hot air balloon, not water balloon, hot air balloons, and then the roses and more mountains. And hold on, where's the mountain sticker at? I think it's on the last page. The mountain stickers on the last page. And then again, roses on the back, and then the rose punch on the edges, and maps is the decorative theme in this one. And this is really the same thing as the pouch element that's already in there. I made two because I had four fuchsia envelopes. And my thinking was I would put all of these in here. But when I tried to do that, of course, it didn't close. So whoever gets this will have two extra pouches that they can use as refills when they use what's in there. And probably they'll take out more stuff just so you have just two pouches in there as well. So they have options, which is cool. Options are good. This was used offcuts of the scrapbook paper that I used for the covers to do two belly bands on this one. I did not have a large enough piece for a pocket, so the other one's only one that's got the pocket. So belly band, and then two belly bands. And then I did find some travel themed washi tape, but there weren't many places that I could put it. So I may find more places where I can use this, maybe put cuttings of it on different pages or whatnot, and use that if I can't find stickers or stamps that match the theme. But this came out really, really well. So again, you've got the teal cover, and you've got the half of an envelope on this side as a pouch. You've got two belly bands, and then you've got halves of the envelopes on this side as a pouch, and then just decorative rose stickers and rose punches, almost like a tabs, but they don't stick out, so you can't really call them tabs, but they're just a way to decorate the pages. And there's also stickers on the outside of this one that are invisible in the background. I learned a very valuable lesson about, and I've seen people make these and have book plates and all kinds of things to decorate them, and it totally slipped my mind to do something on the background so that the stickers are actually visible. Lesson learned. So, and they're not the kind of cheap stickers that I'm going to try to take off and ruin the paper either. So lesson learned, expensive lesson learned. That was a pretty expensive sticker pack. But so these two are extra. This will be inside. And I am, even with all the foibles and things that I messed up as I was putting it together, I am overall very pleased with how this came out. I just wish I had not used all my fuchsia paper up in my last project. So, you know who you are. This is coming to you in the mail as soon as I figure out how to put more travel themes in it. So I'll probably mail it. Today is the 30th of March. I will probably mail it by the 1st of April. I don't know if I will put this video up on my channel until after I mail it or not, because I don't want to spoil the surprise for whoever she wants to give this to. But I may just go ahead and put it in the mail and put it up on my channel on April 1st is probably what I'll do. So that is this one. Theme, again, is fuchsia, teal, turquoise, roses, and travel journal.